Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for watching. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how I made this fancier geode sprinkle drip cake. I'm like 10 years late to the geode game, but I really wanted to give it a go. So I hope you guys like this cake. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you did and subscribe for new videos every week. I'm starting out with two 6-inch cakes that I've leveled and cut in half, and I'm going to be filling those with some vanilla Swiss meringue buttercream that I've dyed a pink shade, which is optional. Once my cake was stacked up, I'm adding a thin layer of that buttercream all around the outside, and this is going to lock in any crumbs. I put that in the fridge for about 25 minutes to chill, and then when I could touch my finger to the buttercream and none of it came off, it was ready for the final ice. If you're thinking that the cake looks a little bit different from when I started, that's because it is a different cake. I accidentally deleted the footage of me filling and crumb coating this cake, so I just reshot it for you guys. That's why it looks a little bit different. I added a big dollop of some more buttercream on the top, and I'm smoothing that down using my spatula and my turntable as a guide, and then adding more of that buttercream around the sides. I smoothed that out as best I could, and then went in with my bench scraper, and I'm just scraping that back. For all of the buttercream that accumulated on the outside edge of my cake, I'm just pulling that into the center very carefully, making sure that I'm not messing up my nice level top. Since this cake is 2 tiers, I need to add some supports, so I'm inserting a wooden dowel and then marking off with my edible food marker where it's flush with the cake, and I'm going to cut that down to size. I cut more wooden dowels to the same height, and then I'm inserting those into the middle, just spacing them out evenly. I added a smear of buttercream to help my top tier stick, and then I popped on this 4-inch cake. Both of my cakes were chilled PS. It's just a lot easier to do it when it's cold versus room temperature because your buttercream is just going to go all over the place. Using my small spatula, I'm adding a little bit of buttercream on the bottom there just to cover up the cake board, and then I'm going to go around with my bench scraper and just carefully scrape that back. Both of these cakes are going to have added texture, so don't worry if the base layer of your icing is a little bit messy like mine is. It's going to be covered, so don't stress. So for the top layer, I have some light and dark pink buttercream, and I'm adding those all around just in blobs, spacing them out. Doesn't matter, just haphazardly smacking it on there. I'm going around with my bench scraper so you can see all the colors are starting to blend together. Just be careful you're not going down too far and scraping away the top of your bottom tier. This was just a process of reapplying the blobs, scraping them back. I added some white in there. You really can't go wrong. It's going to turn out really pretty whatever way you choose to do it. So when I was done, this is what it looked like. And then for the bottom tier, I'm adding a thin layer of my buttercream all the way around. And with my spatula, I'm just creating some texture, basically just little swooshing motions all over the sides. Again, whatever you think looks best for whatever your preference is. You could just start with your spatula at the bottom and swirl it all the way to the top. I just wanted to create a little bit of a pattern. I didn't want it to be too smooth. So I stuck my cake in the fridge at this point and let it firm up a little bit. And then once it was ready to go, I grabbed a heart cutter that I had and just indented that lightly into my buttercream. Then I grabbed a longer knife and I'm going to start cutting around that heart shape. I want to make sure that I'm cutting at an angle versus like straight into the cake because I want the center of the heart to have the most depth, and I want it to be a little more shallow as you get out to the edges. To help me hollow out that heart a little bit more, I have this little itty bitty spoon, and I'm just digging out the center a bit and then smoothing out the edges. You just want to take your time here because you don't want to lose that heart shape. Once I was happy with it, I added a little more buttercream just as like a mini crumb coat, and then I put that back in the fridge to chill. I picked up some rock candy from my local bulk store, and I just cut it up a bit so that there was smaller pieces and larger pieces, and I'm going to work my way from the center out, mostly concentrating these smaller pieces in the center. You want to fit those together pretty snug. You don't really want to have any gaps of buttercream. And I just kind of mixed up the sizes as I moved my way out. I think the trick to making this look good is just having a little bit of variation. I think if you use all small pieces or all big pieces, it just doesn't look quite as good as like a natural geode would look with just the different sizes going on. I placed them down right to the edge and then just made sure I filled in all the small gaps. Once I was all finished, I put that back in the fridge to chill, and then I was ready to start painting. I have some pink food coloring gel that I mixed with a little bit of food grade alcohol, and I'm going to put the darkest concentration of that right in the middle. As I worked my way out, I wanted the colors to get lighter and lighter so it was like an ombre effect. So I just started diluting the color a little bit more so it wasn't as concentrated. And you just want to make sure you go back over everything. You can see there's little pockets of where color has gotten caught on the rock candy. Just go back in, stipple that out. It took me probably about 25 minutes to work my way out. If you find that you've put too much color down and it's a little too pink, or you don't think there's enough of an ombre effect, just dip your brush in just the straight up food grade alcohol and go over the areas you want to soften up a bit, and the color will eventually dilute. So when it was done, it looked like this. You can see I barely touched the very outer layer at all. I really like the way this looked. Of course, you don't have to use pink. You could use purple or blue or whatever color you want. While my cake is still cold, I'm going to add my ganache drip to the top. So this is just chocolate mixed with cream. I'll have the ratios that I use down below, and I put that into a squeeze bottle, and I'm just going to start with my drips first. You want to make sure that your cake is cold and your ganache is not too hot so that it doesn't melt the buttercream. And I just did a couple drips in one spot. You could go all the way around the cake if you'd like. And I pooled that on one side and just smoothed it out with my spatula. The sprinkle drip cakes are a big thing right now, so I have this Valentines mix that I got from the store, and I tried using a pair of tweezers and I wanted to cry, so I just moved to using my fingers. Just be really careful. It's a very delicate thing. It's pretty tedious. I was really happy I only decided to do a couple drips in the one spot, but I think that the look is really cute. I added some more sprinkles to the top as well. Alright, so moving back to the heart, I have some edible gold leaf and I'm just tearing off pieces and lining the outside. When I was all done, it looked like this. Not a perfect heart shape, it was a little bit rough around the edges, but I liked the way it looked. I thought it looked kind of natural, but you still get the gist that it's a heart. For the flowers on my cake, I have a little spread of different sized roses and some baby's breath. It's really important that you wrap the stems of all of the flowers that go into the cake. You do not want to do it just popping them in there. That's not food safe and you could make some people sick. So I have some floral tape here and I'm just stretching that out to activate the gluey stickiness. and then I'm wrapping it around the stem, making sure I go all the way to the bottom, and then I'm snipping off the excess and just really mummifying that stem. And the last step is just arranging them on the cake. I'm putting them in the top and then a little spray on the side as well. And this was the final result, guys. I know I don't normally do the fancy, prettier type cakes, but you guys said you wanted to see a more elegant Valentine's cake. So hopefully this does it for you. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, leave me a like. It really helps my channel out and I appreciate it so much. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one.